Want to welcome back another episode of Wind Me Down Kick. This is our 8th show. I want to thank all y'all rocking with me. In case y'all missed the past shows, please go to YouTube, DJ SKEG. Subscribe, like, share, tell a friend. We in here. We're going to do like this, y'all. I'm DJ Sidekick, your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. Coming up next, we got our next guest. Has been making names for herself, on stages. She did the HBO All Deaf Comedy Jam. She did BET, the Comedy Get Down. You seen her on Jimmy Kimmel live. She was on tour with Cat Williams, y'all. I need you to unmute yourself. I need to make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, Daphnique Springs. Come on, y'all. Make some noise. What up, Daph? How you doing, Ma? Everything good?
I'm doing great.
Good. So let's get right into it, Daphne. Yo, give me your full name, where you from, and where was you raised at?
My name is Daphnique Springs. I am from South Florida, and I was raised up all over. I've lived as a child in Minnesota to Southfield, Michigan to Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, but that's where I'm originally from, South Florida, Palm Beach County. Ho. You got to add a ho after you say our county. Yeah, that's the South Florida. Palm Beach County, ho, all day.
Oh, okay. What school did you go to?
Yeah, I went to a lot of schools, but in that area, Lake Worth High School, and I graduated from Southfield High School in Michigan.
All right, yeah, cut the music off. Okay, so Florida girl, I hear you. So, Daph, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
When did I fall in love with
When did you fall in love with hip hop? We're going straight to the music right now first.
Okay,
I want to get into
straight
that.
to the music.
Straight to the music.
I grew up with my dad. I was raised with my father a lot. So, you know, my mother liked R&B. My father liked reggae. So he listened to a lot of reggae, you know, Bob Marley and all that kind of stuff. I used to be 5 or 6 saying, no, who shot the sheriff? But I didn't shoot the deputy. But when I fell in love with hip hop, I think I made it past the hip hop age. I think I'm the age where it was rap. I remember my dad took me to a doctor's appointment, and on the TV came Trina, pull over that ass too fat. Yeah. And I was like, what is this? and that's when I fell in love with rap. Because I think hip hop was around rap was more my age range, you know, hip hop had already kind of faded. So I never been like a true hip hop head, but rap, I love it. And it was Trina. I didn't even have an ass. I still don't have an ass. That was my song. That pull over that ass too fat. And I was like, woo, woo.
Got it. So tell me, Daphne, growing up, you said you wasn't into hip hop, you were rap. When you was in, high school, who was on your walls? Who was on your notebooks? Who was your that was him.
You know what? Y'all can talk all y'all want, and y'all can say Bow Wow is not a legend, but Bow Wow was the legend when I was growing up. That'd be an argument. People try to say Bow Wow.
No, he's a legend. Yeah.
Bow Wow is legendary. Bow Wow had some music. He had some hits. He was an actor. Even though I've always been taller than him since the day I was.
You start liking him, huh?
I was like, you know what? This little man, I love him.
Oh boy.
Bow Wow, huh? Okay, I see you. So give me Trick Daddy. Whoa, that's a
Look at the kids. Don't y'all hate him. I remember because I wasn't allowed to really. I grew up Muslim, so I wasn't allowed to like really express myself. But like listening to adult things, I was kept a child my entire childhood, right? So I wasn't at home. I wasn't exposed to adult things. But when I used to spend a night at my cousin's house on the weekend, I used to be like, "Yo, no damn hoe, He used to be over there turned up. They be like, "Girl, you need to chill out." I'm like, "Oh, you don't know damn hoe, That I ain't even know nothing about hoism, but."
It just sounded good, huh?
Sound great.
Give me your top 5 rappers right now. What we doing?
Top 5 rappers.
Top 5 for you. Yeah, who are you talking about?
I'm gonna keep it home team, so I gotta say Rick Ross.
Okay,
Y'all
Ricky
be trying
Ross.
to play Rick Ross, but Rick Ross is lyrically one of the best rappers alive, and he should be in everybody's top 5. Period. Y'all try to play him because he had a job and y'all working jobs trying to say he was a correctional officer, but so what? You know he big, he got to eat, so he had to get a regular job. That's why you don't see no fat drug dealers, because they ain't got time. You can't be trying to outrun the ops, you know what I mean, in the competition. So he said, you know what, I'm gonna go get me a job so I can get me some donuts. It all work hand in hand. So that's rapper out. Rick Ross. I would say my generation, I'm gonna go ahead and pass that on over to Drake.
Okay. Drizzy Drake, I see you. That's a good one.
I had a viral video where I stalked Drake for one night. I was at the skating ring and in walked Drake. And when I tell you Drake went to go pee, I stood outside the bathroom and waited for him to go pee. And people was like, girl, you better get your man. And I was like, no, Drake ain't the type of man that I would. Drake corny, but I just loved his music. I was like, he's gonna be my friend for the night, and that was my friend for the night. And I think Drake's music speaks to people. It's just so inspirational, you know, because you can tell by his music he didn't live no hard life. Drake is really represented for the middle class, you know.
Right.
So that's why I love Drake, because I'm like, Drake is, you know what, I grew up middle class, you know, I ain't never missed a meal, you know. I was skinny by choice, you hear me?
We ain't never had drive-bys on our street, huh?
What is a drive-by? People do that? Oh my God, I could wear whatever color I wanted in my neighborhood. Like, color was never an issue. I love red lipstick, because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know colors was an issue. How do you own a color?
How do you own a hood? Huh? This is my street.
Okay, who else would I say? I would have to really go with Trick Daddy. I would pick Trick Daddy. Was legendary. Don't try to play Trick Daddy, because y'all be trying to play Trick Daddy, but Trick Daddy had hits. Now he looked like Florida Evans, and it kind of from the Trick Daddy we know. Trick Daddy before the Florida Evans look, that Trick Daddy there. Trick Daddy used to be fine too. Bitches used to be messing with Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy looked like
Florida Evans, damn.
You know how when you guys get hard and an erection, how all the blood go to your penis? It looked like it just came out of his penis and went to his face. But I would still give my man's top 5 because I'm from Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you already know DJ Sidekick, Florida Ho, South Florida Ho. Give it to him. I would say Tupac. Tupac is one of the greatest rappers. I'm sorry, y'all, I can't give it to Biggie, because Biggie said, you look so fine, I suck your daddy's dick. And after that, I was like, you can't be in my top 5. I ain't never seen a bitch so fine I wanted to suck her daddy's dick. I ain't never seen nobody that fine. You hear me?
Makes sense. I get that. So that's your top 5.
I think that was at 5 or 4. I think New School got
4. Okay, yeah, you got one.
It to Lil Baby.
Lil Baby? Why? Why you like Lil Baby?
I don't know. He got a grown ass face, but his lyrics is like, they good. I like motivational rap. You know what I mean? Stuff that make me want to get off my ass and start hustling.
Get that hustle on.
Yeah, get that hustle on.
Got you. Okay, so flipping over. Music. Artists. Give me your top 5 there.
Okay, R&B. I'm gonna have to go back to Florida, Miss Betty Wright.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
After the pain.
Okay, you already know. Ain't nothing like a woman who talk. Back in the day, they used to just say, "Fuck singing. I'm just gonna talk the rest of this out."
Song 7 minutes, 5 is talking, huh?
Okay. No, 5 is talking. That's how it used to be back in the day. So I would definitely say Betty Wright. Whitney Houston to me is just legendary. She had one of the most beautiful voices ever. But you know what? I used to always think that people that did crack, they had superpowers, because you ever notice my auntie been on crack since. I asked my dad, I said, how long she been on crack? He was like, it's been so long. He said, since I known her, she been on the crack. And I just that it gave you like a superpower, like, because my auntie will not die. She's still alive. She's still smoking crack. So I was like, this shit immortal. If I ever get a disease that can't be curable, I'm gonna get on crack so I know I live at least another 30 years. It's automatically guaranteed 30 years of life. So but it did mess up her voice later on in life. But
it did mess up her voice, yeah.
Yeah, you know, the crack started doing this to your voice. Like, this is my voice on crack. Hey y'all, yeah, I'm just going but in her prime, she is one of the greatest of all time. I thought she was absolutely gorgeous. She was so beautiful to me. I would also say, I don't care. You know, sometimes when you messing around with little kids, you got a better voice. So I'm gonna give that to R. Kelly. I feel like he's good. I mean, you can take away all this other shit, but the dude was legendary.
Genius. Yeah.
Seen R. Kelly live, and when I tell you his vocals and he was smoking a cigar, I was like, you know what? I would let him eat my coochie if I was 16.
What the fuck?
Hey y'all, I'm here to entertain, so you know, it's crazy because my grandma said R. Kelly called her house for my auntie back in the day, because my auntie thought she could sing, but she ain't really couldn't sing that good. So R. Kelly was like, "Yeah, you ain't talented enough for me to fuck with you." So she got passed. The singing ain't really in our family, so I was like, bitch, she
can do it.
But I think that if it was 2021, she could have passed, because you know all you gotta do is sing low like right now, just put an auto tune on that bitch, like Kylie LeRae, and then you'll be good. So I would also say Beyonce. People argue that Beyonce voice ain't that good, but I think Beyonce is really good. I think she's an entertainer, and I absolutely love her. And also, she can't act, so I would never put her in a movie, but I would definitely put her into my top 5. And last but not least, Midnight Train to Georgia. I don't know about that. That song just touched my soul. So
last night?
Yeah, on that Midnight Train to Georgia.
That Midnight Train to Georgia? Damn,
yeah.
Gladys got that voice.
Gladys Knight don't play. And then when I saw Gladys Knight on that Versus, I said, you know, Miss Gladys kicked off her shoes. Or was that Patty?
That was
Patty kicked off her shoes.
I think that if you put them both in the same wig, that you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. I went to a Patti LaBelle concert one time with my granddad, and I was like, sing the Midnight Train to Georgia. My granddad was like, bitch, you had the wrong concert. Look alike.
They look alike. So, yo, Daphnique, was you the class clown? Like when you was in school, was you that person that always had jokes shooting off at everybody? Was that you?
Absolutely not. I didn't develop a personality until my mom called me in 2013. She said, what the hell you doing out there in LA? I said, I'm just trying to do stand-up, Mom. She was like, well, you need to be more aggressive. What's your plan B? And I said, I don't have no plan B. And that's when I said, it's time to click, like from Beyonce to Tasha Fierce and turn into Daphne Springs Elite. Cause I was like, I ain't going back to college. Fuck that place. So, no, I wasn't.
Hey, college like it's jail.
It is. Like, I don't want to go to college and be poor. No, I'm just joking. Sorry. It put me in debt, guys. It put me in debt.
It does do that.
But yeah, so it's something I developed over the years to be a little more loud. And the louder I got, the shorter my hair got, and the less I got hit on by men. So yeah, it's a lose-lose situation for me.
So Daph, tell me a time on stage where you killed, like it was that moment, everything fell in line, and then tell me the opposite, the time that you bombed.
So I be killing them all the time, psych. No, I don't.
Hurt to my mom.
No, yeah, okay. So I would say one of the best experiences I ever had was I went up after somebody got booed on the Cat Williams tour.
Ooh.
And
Wait. Pause. Who got booed? Come on, we gotta get
Big Weezy. You know, I'm a name dropper. I don't give a fuck. I got a gun.
So Big Weezy bombed, and you was up next.
Yeah, so I was able to survive that. So I was like, this is an amazing show in front of 9,000 people. So that was great. Wow. I would say one of my worst comedy experiences was on Chocolate Sundays.
Really?
That's when I first got started. You remember Caduce?
Yes.
So one time I was up there and I was told that I was doing a 5-minute set, and he started lighting me around like 2.5 minutes because I had the set recorded. And then you was a part of this, my worst experience, DJ Sidekick.
I was a part of it? What happened?
You turned the music up on me and then you cut off my motherfucking mic. This was about 2012. You remember that?
I don't have the power to cut the mic off.
Worst experience. And I was getting ready to fucking cry and guess who came over to comfort me was Leslie Jones. She said, baby, don't let these niggas tear you down. And I was like, but that shit was embarrassing as fuck. Because it was just like a moment of silence. Like everybody was like, did this? Because now your mind is thinking, did they just turn the mic off? When I tell you it took my knees got weak walking off that stage. I was like, Lord, just let me make it to the back. I gotta pee now. I ain't have to pee. I gotta shit. My stomach I feel like I gotta throw. I was sick. So thank you, DJ Sidekick. I kept going. You could have destroyed me, nigga, but I'm still out here.
Let me tell you. Now, cut the music on. That's all me. That's me. But I'm always expected to turn the music on. I usually don't do that. But cut your mic. I don't have the power over the mic. I have no power over that.
Looks like it was you.
So look, I'm sorry about that. Wow, I'm a part of it. That's real messed up. So. How did you get into the Cat? You just brought up Cat Williams. How did you get into that tour and
what was Chocolate Sundays?
Serious? That came through Chocolate Sundays? Because I know Cat is very particular about he's very unique about people he roll with and stuff like that.
He gives everybody a shot though if you ask him.
Serious?
Yeah, because think about how many comedians I can name at least 20 that at least got. I didn't get a lot of dates. It wasn't like I was on for a year. I only did like 4 shows, but he'll at least give you an opportunity. And I mean, that's been from D-Lay to Grady to me to so many. It's just so many. He'll give you a shot.
Okay, so he just walked up and said, "Yo."
No, he didn't walk up to me. I squeezed. I remember back on the thing because Big Weezy is he's a proud over 600 pounder. So he's over 600 pounds, and he was on the back stairs at the Laugh Factory. And I remember I saw him and he was like standing there, I guess, because Cat Williams was up there. And when I tell you I hit and I squeezed through like this, and I made it through. And when I got up there, I said, "Hey, Cat, can I get some shows with you?" And he said, "Yeah, if you're funny." And then I was like, "Okay." So it was just as simple as that. And then I got the contact information of somebody, and then was able to do some shows.
Dope. What did you learn off of that?
I think it goes with anybody because Mike Epps has given me a shot. Earthquake. Russell Peters.
No.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people in the community, they try to look out for comedians, period, because it is a family,
Yeah, you got something that's like that. Yeah, true.
If you know somebody that can ask somebody or you can ask directly, most people will give you a shot whether you're funny or not.
What did you learn from going on those shows how big was the crowds at that time?
The biggest I ever performed in front of was 11,000, so it was nothing under 5,000. And I just learned that it was great because you get to stay in 5-star hotels, you get to have car service and everything. Like you get to see comedy at the highest level possible. And at the end of the day, that's why I tell people it's important that you give back to the Black youth, because sometimes people need to know that things are possible, right?
Right.
So to be able to experience comedy at such a high level, I knew that it was possible. So now it changed my outlook on what stand-up was. Got it.
So, tell me about the first time on stage. Well, how old were you when you got the comedy bug? What year was that?
See, y'all niggas can do math.
Okay. Take the age way.
I like people to do the extra step and Google it if you want to know my age, because y'all gonna quit saying I'm 40 because I ain't nowhere near 40. My mom.
Okay, so what year was the first time you stepped on, and how was that?
It was October 2010, and
So brand, it's pretty new. Okay.
Yeah, I was 20, was it 23? Yeah, about 23. Go, it's
So
30, it's 34 because I know some of y'all ain't. Y'all know me as
wait, wait,
hell.
wait. So your first time walking on stage was in 2010.
Yeah.
Shit. And you
I
did all
forget
that.
when I met you was 2011 or 12,
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you came in when we
or maybe
first met.
13. Yeah.
Yeah, you was really just starting off your role. Okay, so you were really the new. Okay, so the bug, how did it grab you? Was it somebody that you saw before walking on that stage and then doing it? How was that first experience?
See, I didn't grow up watching stand up and stuff like that.
You didn't?
So no, I didn't. That
Oh,
wasn't my household. So I
okay.
didn't grow up with a lot of those things. So I first remember I went out on a date in Fort Lauderdale in Hollywood, Florida. It's called Hollywood, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy took me to see Bruce, and I just thought this was amazing. And then I had always wanted to move to LA and get in the industry. I just didn't know what it was. But my grandmother lived here. So I used to be hustling out in these LA streets when I was a kid because I used to think I was rich out here. I used to make so much money. So I always knew I could come back to this city and become successful because of my childhood experience. So I would say that when I went on stage, it was like 2010. And this guy I went to college with, I dated him, and he had a friend that lived out here. And that friend had another friend named Elijah, and he was doing a bringer show. That's where you have to bring 10 people in order to get your stage time and maybe get
Right,
a couple of dollars.
right.
So I brought me and my boyfriend at the time, and we went, and then I saw him do it. And you ever look at somebody else and be like, "Oh, I can do that too." And that's what happened because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do out here. It's just get in the industry. So I ended up seeing him do stand up, and I said, "Can I come?" And he said, "If you bring 10 people, you can come back and perform." And I said, okay. So I asked him, I said, does my grandmother and her wig count as two people? And he was like, she can take that motherfucker off and put it back on. That's two people. We'll get her 4 drinks. That's nothing. And he was like, yeah, if you come back, you can go up. And I came back, I brought some people, and I went up.
Dope, dope. So, being a woman in this male dominated, I asked Ty Davis last week. I'm asking you, haters, how how you deal with them? I know coming in 2010 is moving as much as fast as you're moving. You had a lot of haters. How did you maneuver through that? How you handle that?
Haters, I think it's obstacles. I don't look at them as haters. To me, a hater is somebody that can really just like really create like these major
Problems?
milestones for you where you almost can't work. So I don't think it was anybody that ever hated on me. It was obstacles. And at the end of the day, when you first start, you have this mindset that you can conquer the world, right? And I'm the best. And it's crazy because now as I've settled in 10 or 11 years later, I don't think that I'm that good. I'm thinking I still got to work. But when I first came in, I came in with this confidence like, yo, I'm the funniest, I'm this, I'm talented, or whatever. Now all the insecurities of other people has built into me. So I think with that of trying to thinking you're so good, you're not that good. And so it was just obstacles. It's obstacles of getting stage time. It's obstacles of getting on shows. And I just think that it just when I look back at it at the stage that I'm at now, it's just weaning out the weak, right? And
Right.
it's just really creating that that foundation for some people, or it could be whatever. So yeah, I just looked at obstacles and not really hate.
So, do you feel that a woman has to be beautiful, on point, and twice as funny as a man to be able to be equal as a male comic,
Do I think a woman has to be equally as funny?
or twice as funny to even just equal the playing field?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because I come from a chemistry degree. So I look at it as that so it's a numbers game because women be like all the time, well, they need to put more women on the show. But if you look at it, it's 1 in 5 women that's doing comedy, right?
Mhm.
1 in 5 people is a woman. So if you have a show with 5 people and you put one, but I'm more statistics. That's the way my mind works. So I think
Okay.
that if you have one woman on the show, that's quite even. But most people don't think like that. They think they want to you know, be a monopoly. They want to overturn the system. And I agree with that as well. But I never thought that I had to be twice as good. If anything, I got to be twice as good because I'm Black. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
So,
okay.
and not as separating as a woman, because at the end of the day, I'm Black first. And you know how this industry is with us. They don't really take us for face value. They don't think we're the most talented when we are the talented. Deep down inside, they know we are, right? They know we are, but they don't always treat us like we are. So yeah, I had to work twice as hard. I had to find when I was faced with an obstacle, I had to find another way around that obstacle in order to get over that course and win. And that's just it. I think that a lot of people spend so much time complaining that they're not really making movement. I don't ever want to be in the mindset where I can be a victim, right? Because I believe like that whole shit, like slavery can be a choice. So I believe your lifestyle can be a choice, because we live in a day and age where shit, I done been to other countries. You can say whatever you want. Racism exists here, prejudice, all of that shit. But you can really make it in this country. And I see it with so many of our peers. I see it with you. We created something, and I think it's possible here. So in my mindset, it's not who's against me. It's more so, how do I just keep going until they join my side? And that's it. So I don't always think about I'm the victim. I don't like being a victim.
Dope. I understand what you're saying. So the criticism of old school comics to new school comics. I know you get it. You started in 2010, and you have made great strides. Do you ever get the backlash of, you ain't put in 10 years, you ain't put in 15 years, you ain't put in 20 years? You do a video and you get 1 million followers, and now you on stage. You don't get the credit. Do you feel that?
No, because most people that I know with comedy, they know my work ethic and they know my stage presence. So they kind of respect it. And you'll be surprised how many of them older comics, text me. Now, one female comedian that's probably like in her 50s called me and said another female comedian in her 50s didn't think I was funny and started, like, she called me. I thought it was very messy, because I really, at the end of the day, unless I'm the type of person where if somebody don't think you the best DJ, I would never say that. Unless they say I'm gonna kill that nigga because he not the best DJ, then that's the only way I'm gonna relay a message. You don't need those type of things in your head. So I was kind of very confused why this woman would tell me that another woman didn't like me, because I never want to go into it, because I'm the type of person where I'm gonna hold on to that shit. I'm gonna feel some type of way, because like, yo, I didn't do shit to you. But I also, on the other hand, believe that comedy is very subjective, right? So, but it does make you feel some type of way if somebody's like talking shit about you, like dragging you. You know what I mean?
No reason.
Made false narratives to say I fucked this person, and I was like, who did I have sex with? Maybe your favorite football player, but it wasn't your favorite comedian.
Well, damn.
So good question. Yeah. Have you ever been accused on that? Just what you just said, accused, because I know, like Ty said, that she don't like to do a lot of tours with guys, because right off the back, most guys want something to be on a tour. Did you ever have that problem, or did you ever have that situation of rumors, like you said, somebody dragging you on something just because?
Yeah, it'd be other comedians. It'd be the male comedians that's just mad they didn't get the spot. So they'll start these little rumors or ask somebody else. But I'm also sleeping with everybody that I'm friends with. So any comedian that I'm friends with, it's just going to be out there that Daphnique slept with that person. But that kind of stuff, I don't worry about it. I know me. And you just mad, bitch, because you ain't smelled it. That's pretty much it. And that's how I live life. Like I said, I just try not to focus on that shit, because it will really tear you the fuck down out here. It's so much rejection. It's so many. It's just, you just got to fight to be present here. You got to try to get on television. You try to do this. You got to try to be good. You got to try to get, I don't give a fuck what nobody else thinks. I had to come to a point in life where I had to realize, yo, I'm just going to do my own thing. Either you like it or you don't like it. Yeah, people messy, so they always tell me what somebody else said, but it's just whatever. When she said that I wasn't funny and kind of dragged me, I noticed that was just a bitter mentality that she has displayed among with several other people, right? It's like, oh, that's just how people are. But see, I also can understand it, because as a Black woman, this industry has they put some in position to win, but they've tore down so many more. So at the end of the day, I'm not mad at her. You know, it's just
who was it?
No, I'm not gonna say her name. I just hope Listen, I just
You
hope one day
put Big Weezy out there, so I thought, we out here.
Big Weezy is proud of that bomb now. He ain't tripping at all. Trust me, he will come over here and tell you the story. So he loves to tell the story. He's excited about it. But I just hope with that female comedian one day I can give her a job, right? And
right. That makes sense. So what was your first major break?
Major break? I would say it was really social media for me.
Social media?
Yeah. So just doing my own sketches and doing my own thing. That's what really, because I no longer had to wait on the industry, and I no longer had to have that pick me mentality. Please pick me. It's almost, it can make you start to act out in a desperate type of form, or it can turn you bitter because you're constantly wanting to be picked and get this validation, or just to earn a living in something that you love and not have the subconscious that this shit might not be for you. You should go back to school and you shouldn't have dropped out 10 credits short of a chemistry degree. What the fuck were you thinking? So with that being said, like, I think so.
Your mama's still mad right now behind that shit.
Okay. No, my mama's happy for me.
Oh, she's happy now? Was she always behind the move?
Yeah, she was cool with college, but as long as I'm not smoking crack, my mother's pretty cool. And she always say, I'm so glad you didn't smoke crack, baby, because I would have been out there in them streets chasing you every day. I would have just been so stressed.
So, Daph, you got into the game of the social media and took off like right in front of the COVID. Like you were already moving. So when the pandemic hit, you straight to the top.
Hey, the best year of my life.
Right. What made you like invest in that, and what was the movement, like, the science behind your movement on that? Because you are making, hey y'all, she's making money. Like she's making money. Like
my mama might see this. No, so I would say the first one was, I used to be vining with some of the biggest creators back in the day. That was around like 2014 or 15. I was vining, right? And then I was like, this shit ain't never gonna go nowhere. This is just a trend. And I thought it was gonna fade in and fade out. So it was a lot of work. It used to take us like an hour and a half to do a 6-second sketch. 6 seconds took an hour to an hour and a half, because if you messed up, anything didn't go right, you had to cram everything, the whole joke, within that 6 seconds. And if you missed anything, you had to start all the way back over. It wasn't like we can do now. You can edit and just shoot that one part over. So I didn't think this shit was going nowhere. I was like, this ain't going nowhere. They stupid. This fast forward, a lot of people became millionaires.
Right.
So so then 2017, this show called 50 Central came around, and I was one of the women that they chose to test for the show, and I didn't get picked, right? And one of the producers, I ended up sending her like maybe 6 months down the line. She was like, they had chose you, but they ended up going a different route, and I just wanted you to know that you was talented and all this other kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, thank you so much for that, because I just thought, you start to get all these thoughts in your head. Yeah. Maybe you're not good enough. So I noticed that
you hear yes.
Okay, that some of the people that they picked actually had a following. So I was like, I'll never let that be another obstacle for me. I'll never leave money on the table, so I won't be counted out because I didn't have a following. So I ended up calling Jahan Jones, and he told me he was over at Simone Shepherd and King Kieran's house and to come over. So over there, I finally just started to get my start learning from them. And then I started to venture off and collaborate with other creators. And then I was still doing like 1-minute sketches, which you can earn money off of, but the format was to really get to that 3 minutes as far as the requirements for Facebook to monetize. So then that was July 2018. Then the end of the year, I got flued out.
You got flued out?
I flew out to New York, and I tested for SNL, and they didn't pick me. And I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do? I ain't gonna let that be my end all be all. I'm gonna fucking go hard. And that's when I started cranking out 5 sketches a week. And to this day, I believe I have approximately 600 or 700 sketches.
Dope. Okay, I'm gonna let them ask questions after this question. So
they got questions? I thought this was me and you.
I'm gonna let them...
It looked like 1 or 2 people done tried to roast me in these chats.
One said you selling dope. One told me, Mo Bay said he's out there running drugs. So, yo, what was your biggest sketch that took you over, like really made that name? Because once I started putting the flyer out, everybody was, she's funny. Oh my God, I seen her. She's funny. So what was that one that, took off?
It was the gun sketches. It was the gun sketches where I was pulling the gun on my boyfriend. And that video, literally, it's crazy. That video went around the fucking world. I'll never forget, I was in Dubai. And this lady, she came up to me because at the hotel, you got to check in. And I didn't know you had to check in every single person that was in the hotel. Everybody has to present their passports. So I turned to my friends. I said, hey, y'all, we got to get y'all passports. So they before they can get all their shit and walk over, this lady comes up to behind me. My back is turned to, she said, Daphne, is that you? She said, I knew you from your voice. She said that she had seen my videos and could name it and regurgitate it. And then when I went to the mall in Dubai, the women, the Arabic women, they would clap. They clapped to get my attention. And as I walked by, they would bow. I don't know if they couldn't speak to me or whatever, but they all would just bow because, and then when I went over there and I saw the treatment of women, I understood that to them that was women empowerment for them. For us, it was just like, what the fuck can I do to really shake the internet up? But to other people, it meant something. And that sketch became, I've seen it in so many languages. If you know anything, you know, China doesn't have social media, so they don't let outside influences like Facebook and stuff like that. In China, it's outlawed. But over there, I remember somebody had posted a Chinese show and they had put my sketch with the gun on a Chinese show and they were excited and they dubbed their voices over. Russia, I got a deal with a Russian company because my sketches had been so big in Russia. And Russian, they would dub over, they would show my face, but do the Russian languages over me. And I seen that video in so many countries around the world in so many different languages. And you just never know. That was the biggest, but one of the highest earning videos was just one video. Boy, I just didn't know what to do for the day. I was tapped out of ideas. I was like, y'all, let's just try to, my goal was to do at least 5 sketches, right? When I shot per day, it's like 5 sketches. So I was like, man, let's put this shit together. Everybody was kind of tired. I was tired. I was like, let's just do it. I didn't really have an ending, but I was like, we just gonna drag them in for the 1 minute. It gotta be 3 minutes. We go just drag them out. And people, I remember somebody commented up under the video. They said, Daphnique, they said, Kevin Hart, please put Daphnique in one of your movies so she can stop doing these shitty ass sketches. And then he was Hispanic. So a black man say, hey, nigga. He was like, yeah, she normally put out good work. Shut your burrito eating ass up. And then, he said, I gotta admit this is a bad one, but she normally put out better work. Shut your burrito eating ass up. And then the Hispanic guy was like, hey man, I don't eat burritos. Too many carbs. And then so that video, people hated it so much, but they kept sharing it. And that one video made $50,000.
Damn.
What? That's how, there you go.
They hated it. But it was so, people hated it so much they couldn't stop watching it or sharing it. And I was like,
made you mad, huh? Like, all this shit I put in work, and then this motherfucker.
No, I knew that. That one was bad. I agree with the brother. She normally put out good work, but this one here was bad.
And that's your biggest selling one. That's hilarious. All right, we're gonna open up the floor up. Do anybody have a question for Daphnique? Anybody out there who anybody? Nobody?
None for y'all.
AT? Oh, I'm sorry. AT. My man AT, he's a comic, funny man. AT, what you got to say?
Yeah, question for you.
He ain't laughing at none of my jokes.
Yes, I did. Come on now.
You got that blurry background because your ass got roaches. What these motherfuckers crawling?
That's it. You can't roast my guy. You can't.
Oh, Jerry Jackson looking ass.
Oh shit!
Damn!
Damn!
Go ahead.
Damn!
I be in the chat room chatting. I be roasting motherfuckers in the chat room, man. So I guess I'm getting my fair share back, you know. So it's all good.
Jerry Jackson, after one of his side chicks keep making banana pudding for him. I ain't get that. Okay.
T, what's the question?
The question is has your sketches helped out your craft on stage, and if so, how?
I would say it's the improvising, because a lot of those scenes where I don't write scripts. I just started doing it because of a deal I got, but like because I got to create some content, and I was just tired of coming up with ideas. But I would just say the improv. But I don't really know, because sketch is different than stand up, because stand up you gotta stand on your own, and sketch you can depend on other people. And nowadays we can edit that shit. I can't edit on stage.
Right.
So has one helped the other? Daphnique, has like the stage helped the YouTube, and the YouTube have, your sketches, they all
not as far as performance based, but as far as like putting asses in seats and people to coming out to see you and creating this fan base that will support you and to headline. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Now everybody don't want to ask the question now because you killed, you roasted the shit out of AT. So everybody like, nope, I ain't doing that. Who? Who?
Oh yeah.
Jay Smiles have a question for you. Where's Jay Smiles? There we go. Hi, Jay Smiles. Yes. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Hello,
okay.
Daphne.
Hello.
Love you lots, sweetheart. I was there down when you won ABFF. It was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You got that hairstyle like when black men come up to you and be like, hey, queen. That's that hairstyle that attracts broke niggas. That's that broke nigga magnet.
let me talk to you a minute. Come, let me talk to you.
Hey, queen, come here. Let me talk to you. You mind if I stay with you a couple of days?
What's up, Jay? What's the question you have?
Shit. Right. So the sketches have obviously, like you just said, giving you such notoriety all across the world. But I believe that stand-up is your first love. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So how, like in your heart of hearts and in your mind, how do you really balance that when, you can crank out these sketches and then you can get these contracts, these dollars coming from all across the world, which could become more convenient or, it could become residual. I'll put it like that. Versus that that hustle about the stage, and how do you balance that struggle inside?
Great question.
So are you saying that one may be pulling me away from the other?
Nope. I want you to answer it however. I don't know, because I'm not.
The question is basically like, why go back to the stage if you could just drop this 3 minutes?
No. I'm not saying it. I'm just asking.
You know what? We need clarification, because he done tried to interpret. I done tried to.
Hold on, DJ. No.
Okay, so what you saying?
Let me say this. This.
Explain it to somebody that's in their 30s, please. I don't know what the hell you talking about, Auntie. Go ahead.
Okay, let me say this.
Oh my God.
That is two awesome ass opportunities.
But I can do both.
You damn sure can.
So
this is my question. First of all, hot as shit that you can do both. Is there ever a change? Is there ever a time where you say, shit?
It's gonna be an all shit moment.
Is there ever a time where one is causing a problem time wise?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. But it's gonna be a time when I'm gonna have to step away from making all these sketches online. It's gonna come a time for that, because my goal is to be a working actor on set, so to be in movies and film. So when that happens and as that picks up, actually I'm shooting something this week, but as that picks up and I'm like in rotation, then I'm not gonna have time to make sketches. But then that's when I'll switch over from television and film to stand up. And then right now, so the only substitution for it will never be a substitution for stand up, but it can be a substitution for the sketches.
Thank you, Jay Smiles. We finally got that question out. Hey, we have a question from Dana. Dana, where you at?
I'm right here.
There
I'm
we
right
go.
here.
There we go. Oh,
Dana.
she's on an early show. She did a great job.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Thank you.
Yeah.
How you doing? Daphnique, love your work. One of the things that I have fallen in love with, because I've actually come to the comedy game kind of like late in birthdays, is I love improv. Did you you talk about having working on a chemistry degree, and I have a math degree, but when did you study improv, or did you just kind of or did it just happen?
Yeah, I believe, see, I'm really big on education, right? And just being ready for the opportunities. A lot of stand-up comedians aren't good actors. So I'm in acting class every week. I get coaching for every audition. So most people probably can't afford to get coached for every audition, but you at least should be try to make it away. I know people that smoke weed and drink alcohol. It's like, you should put that shit down and probably get your teeth fixed and get in some classes. Y'all. Okay, but with that being said, yeah, I went to UCB and I went to Second City, and I also went to script anatomy for television writing, because I'm in the WGA as well. So I went there for television writing to learn how to write scripts or whatever, and do character analysis. Another person that went there was Lena Waithe, and then like I said, I went to UCB for I started at UCB and then I ended up going to Second City, because Second City focuses a little more on characters. So I went to Second City.
Thank you for that. I have to say I'm your twin. I started at UCB. I'm in an improv class now. I do take acting classes every week, and there's this thing that I want to shout out to other people on here called the Black Improvers Alliance, and they are making it possible for African Americans, if you apply, to get free improv classes anywhere in the world, and it's really awesome. And they're right on Instagram, so you guys check it out. And Daphne, thank you, because I think a lot of us have questions or we need confirmation, and you have been both. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Put that in the chat room, what you just said. Thank you very much. Up next is Andrew H. This is my little bro. Andrew, come on in. What you got? Andrew, what you got a question for Daphnique?
Well, first of all, respect, because some amazing stuff I've learned about you, and hilarious. I was laughing at the jokes. And
he look like he like black women, but black women don't like him. Go ahead.
Nigerian wife, 12 years. Yeah.
African black women. Go ahead.
You got it, right?
Oh, shit.
Green card.
You got it. And you already beat me to the punch, because I was going to offer myself up as tribute to be roasted.
You look like you going to Mars with Elon Musk. But you don't know when you get off that ship, you're going to be a slave too.
Andrew, thank you, fam. Thank you.
Did he ask his question?
Did you ask the question? I'm sorry. I thought he did.
What was your question?
To roast me. You beat me.
He's going to roast.
Okay.
You did that. You was already on top of him. We have one more from AT. He has another question for you.
Yeah, one last one.
I want to say, based on the last guy, Andrew, if you eat black coochie, your hair grow.
AT, what question you have?
Yeah. Did you study both long form and short form improv, or just long form?
I think that they mostly do long form here. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever heard of short form improv.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I wasn't sure because I took classes at UCB, but I wasn't sure what they taught at Second City.
Yeah, it's like the same format. It's, you usually do longer. You can do shorter scenes because they call them scenes, but then you can do longer scenes as well. So
right.
I think it's just important just to get into one of those classes. It just depends on where people are. I just think it just teaches you some good techniques. You know what I mean? And you'll be surprised how many of your favorite actors and people in these comedy movies. Like, I'll never forget, like Tiffany Haddish told me she took acting classes for years under Margie Haber. So I go to your acting studio in Burbank, California, and she's a Black teacher. So I just think that, yeah, you just got to find these classes. And I remember being back in the day, being in class with Gabrielle Dennis, Tiffany Haddish. We was all at Tasha Smith acting class back when I first got in LA. That's the one-stop shop for Black people as soon as they came to LA back in the day, was to go to Tasha Smith acting class.
Right. Thanks, AT. We got Travis. Travis, where you at, Travis?
Yeah.
Got a question for you? Here we go.
Oh, yeah. So,
we see you.
Earlier, hey, how's it going? So earlier you were talking about like people hating and like kind of talking down. So I was just wondering, like, with it being subjective and whatnot, I was wondering, like, would you be as offended if it was like in an interview format and then they were asked, Because they're gonna ask about like Kevin Hart. They're gonna ask about the people, the biggest people from your city.
I'm not at that level.
Well, I'm saying they're gonna ask about the.
By that time, you have PR people to train you.
But if they're like, if somebody's like not a fan, like what I'm saying, if other people from your city are asked about you, would you be as
people
offended,
hate on me now?
Like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say nothing.
I don't really. People hate on me now. Sometimes it hurts my feelings. Sometimes I'm just like whatever.
Not going out their way to hate on you, but like saying like if they're not a fan of something.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other day, somebody, some people were boosting me up on Clubhouse. Was like, and I was just in the audience. They was just like, "Yo, she's a comedian that's really doing her thing." And these people just started being very mean. It was like, she ain't no comedian. She don't nobody know her. She from YouTube, but you knew I was from YouTube. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, that kind of stuff. I just say, I noticed that just as the Black community, sometimes we got to stop focusing on the negative, right? And manifest the positive.
Exactly.
Because when you focus on the negative, it's going to put you in such a negative space because it's a transfer of energy. So I'm not saying that I don't have moments where I don't get pissed or get angry, but I try to be better than that. You know what I mean? So if somebody says something, I try not to hate on other people. I just really don't fucking care. Just like, whatever. I just want to succeed. I got my own shit going on over here. I'm wondering why I'm still sleeping at home alone with a heated blanket.
Everybody. Wait.
I have a question.
Oh, who's that? Where we
Lonnie.
at? Lonnie?
Yep.
Oh, boss lady.
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, we got the boss lady in the house.
Lonnie looking at me like, bitch, if you say one thing, I'll never book your chocolate Sundays again. So I ain't gonna say nothing.
This is the person at Chocolate Sunday who runs the show. My boss, Lonnie. Lonnie, you have a question for Daphnique? Watch, this is gonna be funny as hell.
No, it's not funny.
They know each other, so this is.
And I like being roasted, Daphne. If you want to come at me. So.
Look at those eyes. She got
They say never mess with the money. You hear me?
Never.
Lonnie will book your ass on some shit and connect you with some people.
So you said that you want to be a working actor, but is there like an end game for you, like a big goal that you feel like once you hit that, you've done everything that you've ever wanted to do?
You know what? I always thought that if I had a fan base, that would be it. So I set so many goals, right? And then are you fingering us?
I was covering it. Go.
So I mean, it came. It looked like you was just like, I haven't put my finger in your mouth. So I'm like wondering what's going on. But so with that being said, is I noticed that I myself keep moving the goalposts, right? So at first it was like, oh, if I can just get followers, and then I got the followers, it made me happy, but it didn't make me truly happy. And then I was like, well, if I could just get the money, then I started making money, and I was like, I'm not really happy. And then so the next goal was like, if I could just start headlining in cities, and I started doing that, and it still didn't make me happy. So now my goal is to be a working actor. I think that's gonna make me happy. I'll probably one day be like, I ain't had that happy. So I think that every day I just try to live in the moment a little more, because this place will make you want to always aim for the future. So I just try to live in this place right here and be grateful, because I was doing mushrooms, and somebody, that should have make you start realizing your life, guys. And it was like, I was like, oh shit, I'm not really grateful of where I'm at. I've come a long fucking way. I really have, but I don't see it because I'm in it. So it's just like, then you start to base your success off of the success of others, right? But I'm basing my success now for Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle or Tiffany Haddish. That's where I'm basing myself. Well, if I could just get to that level, but at the end of the day, if I died today, I made it. So I don't know what the end goal would be. I think that for me, with the type of personality I have, it's forever changing, but I have to accept that. So I don't know. It could be one day I'm this actor and I make it to the A-list, and then I want to be a director and a producer. I don't know. But one day I do know I want to move back home to Florida and call it a day.
And be a Florida hoe, huh?
I don't want to die here. Be a Florida, South Florida hoe.
Well, Daphne, I am becoming more and more of a fan. I swear, every time I see you on an interview or performing, like you just keep getting better.
Oh, thank you.
And you are always such a pleasure to work with. You're super professional. Anything I ask you to do, you say yes immediately. Like you are like, I wish every comedian was just like you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Lonnie.
Damn. Okay. We got one last question for you and we out of here.
Look at DJ Sidekick ready to tell Ron G and Takara so he can start some shit.
Coming for your job, y'all.
No, they still the favorites. Stop it.
Che, where you at? Che Blue?
Me?
Yes. You have a question? There we go.
Yeah,
Che Blue, she was in the
Hey.
Daphne, she was in the first show. She did a great job too. So
Oh, congratulations. How
the
you
comment.
doing?
Go ahead.
I appreciate, even though that ooh was the complicated part. You were so close. And that was awesome. No, I just want to say this has been like, I'm so glad I stayed. It's been so encouraging and inspiring to hear you talk about everything, especially since as a creative, we go through a lot. My question is, so much of this is mental. How do you keep your hustle going? How do you stay motivated? Do you have a song, a mantra? I need something.
Write goals. And make sure you're specific with those goals. Because the other day I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, I want to be a working actor. And she was like, you are a working actor. You go on auditions every week. And that's a part of the process. And I was like, oh shit, I got to change my goals. I have to now say, I want to be a working actor that's working on set. When it comes to goals, like I manifest and, it depends on whether I'm okay with people if they don't believe in God. I do, but it's about being, praying and not wanting to be an entrepreneur versus a wantrepreneur, right? Somebody who wants it but doesn't put any work behind it. So entrepreneur is gonna put in 10 hours a day. So I will never forget one of Kevin Hart's mentor. You guys know him, Keith Robinson out of New York.
Right.
I remember Keith had called me one day. He said, what the fuck are you out there doing out there, stupid? And I was like, Keith, I'm out here doing stand up. That's how you talk all crazy and shit. But I fight an old nigga. I don't care. I put hands on you. I told my daddy one time, I'll fuck you up on God. You hear me? But that's Scorpio in me. So you don't have to go to this extent. But so I remember Keith had called me and he had said these things. And I was like, Keith, what are you talking about? I'm doing shows. I'm doing the show. I'm doing one show a night. I'm going up here. I'm hanging out at Chocolate Sundays. He said, if you want more out of this shit, you got to treat it like a job. Put in 8 hours a day. So that's when I said, what am I doing for my 8 hours a day? So that 8 hours a day can include writing a script. It could be working on my script, working on my social media, editing videos, doing a podcast. It could be something, but I have to put in those hours every day. Because see, the problem is a lot of comedians think they're doing the work. And I'm only talking because this is a room full of comedians. But a lot of comedians, and that could be going to acting class, a lot of comedians think they're doing the work because they're going to stand-up spots, hanging out, and then going up or not going up because they out there 2-3 hours. They think that's the end all be all. So you don't see that much progress. It's very rare people get lucky. So what other aspects and what other things are you going to put in your life to make sure you account for those 8 hours a day? And for me, it was social media. But I tell people social media isn't the path for everyone, right? A lot of people don't want to do it. But if you really want to be in this industry, when you get the stand-up opportunities, people are going to ask you, these producers, or when you go to Just for Laugh Montreal, do you have a pilot written? Do you have a movie script? People want to know these things. So that's time that you need to be allocating towards those other things. You know what I mean? So.
Great question. Thanks, Chi. Everybody, unmute yourself. Make some noise for Daphne Springs, y'all. Make some noise.
I need you to call me Daphne.
Your name right?
Daphnique.
Daphne.
Daphnique. Daphnique. Tell them where you can see you at.
All right, Daphne.
Tell them all that. Tell me everything you got going on. What you got coming up? What movies you got coming up? Yeah, what you got coming up?
I don't know. Y'all just follow me on social media, imdsprings.com. I always post what is coming up on there.
Everybody, make some noise.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You was the best. Coming into